Ito ang tatlong dapat at hindi mo dapat sabihin pag gumagawa ka ng video. Huwag mo sabihing
Hello, good evening. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Facebook. Good evening, YouTube, and good evening to everyone, the participants tonight. How are you guys?
Good evening po.
Good evening. All right. Can you turn your video on with me, please? Hi, Jules. Hi, Jonathan. I think everyone's name starts with J. All right. Hi, Jules, Jonathan, Jules, and George. Did you talk about the name that you have to be in uniform today? Good evening. How are you? Good evening. You can unmute yourself now. How are you guys? How do you feel? I can't hear you, Julius. I can't
Okay
hear
lang
you.
po.
All right, okay. Anyway, welcome to our free webinar for tonight. This is the second webinar for the Virtual Hive Academy's free webinar series of free webinars for you guys. So I hope that you will enjoy and you will have something to learn from this webinar as well, like what we had last in the first webinar that we had with Miss Ree. All right, is everyone ready? Is everyone ready? Guys, why are you so nervous? It's okay. Don't be nervous, okay? We are here to learn and, to share everything that we know about this um, webinar, right? So the title is, Can You Actually Communicate Like a Global Professional? Right? Okay, so let me share my screen, guys. Since you're only how many? One, two, three, four, right? So we have four participants tonight. I would need you to introduce yourself and I would need you to tell me how confident are you when it comes to communicating in English. Okay, let's start with Julius. Let's go, Julius.
Hello po, good evening. I'm Julius Bayo. I came from Davao City, Philippines, and still learning. Thank you.
How confident are you when it comes to speaking in English? Maybe rate yourself 1 to 5. 5 is the highest. Don't be shy, it's okay.
Uh, Two.
2? Wow, not bad, but that's a starting point. Okay. All right. I hope that this webinar will be here to help you and realize what you need to improve on. All right. Thank you, Julius. Let's have Jules. Hi, Jules. Good evening. Jules, are you there? We can't hear you. Can you turn your video on, please? Jules, I'll get back to you, okay? We cannot hear you and we cannot see you. Let's have Jonathan. Hi, Jonathan. Good evening. Please put yourself. Yes, okay. Please turn your video on. Thank you.
Marshmallow.
Yeah.
Marshmallow.
I'm at the vacation right now.
Yan.
Wow. Nice. All right. Please introduce yourself very quickly, please.
My name is Jonathan Sikatin from Marikina. And my current job is to drive as a joyride rider. And
Mm.
then I tried
Mm-hmm.
studying BA because I want to upgrade I want to because I know that this kind of a job is very nice for me.
For sure, for sure. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Jules. Okay, let's have George. That was Jonathan. You're at work. Okay, no problem. How about Carla? Would you like to introduce yourself briefly, please? And then we'll start. But in terms of confidence, 4/5. That's great, George. Right, Carlo, are you at work as well? I believe you're already a VA, right? Or already working from home. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Introduce yourself, please, briefly.
okay. Um, Hi guys, my name is Carlo Mallet, and I'm a freelance designer. I'm just working here at home, and then what else? uh,
How would you rate your confidence when it comes to communicating in English?
uh, for my rate, like let's say like 7, I guess
5
7
is
or
the
8.
highest. Oh, you're even higher than 5.
I mean, 1
5
to
is the
10.
highest. 5
I
is the
thought that
highest.
is 1 to 10.
Mm-hmm. No worries.
Okay,
5
1
is
to
the highest.
5, so I guess like around 3.5.
3.5. Not bad for a start. Okay. Anyway, thank you. Thank you, Carlo. All right. So we were able to meet some of the people tonight. All right. I'll meet the others as well when you get the chance to answer some of the questions for tonight's webinar. All right. Welcome again, guys. And are you ready? Let's go. I'll share my screen now. Let's go. Let me share the screen. And then I would really ask everyone to put their mic on mute if you're not the one talking. And I need you to turn on your video if you can, if you're not at work, please. Okay? Thank you so much for your cooperation. All right. Can you see my screen, guys? Can you see my screen? Yes. You can type it down,
Yes,
guys.
yes, we see it.
All right, that's great. All right. Okay, so I believe those who didn't turn their video on are at work. Okay, I would assume that. All right, so let's now have the title. Can you actually communicate like a global professional? Now, here's my question, guys. I would ask, we have Marie and Rosalie and Suyen. Welcome, guys. All right. I would pick Rosalie. All right, Rosalie, this would be your question. All right. So, what do you think? In today's global business environment, communication is more than just speaking English, right? So, my question is, what do you think is the most, what do you believe is the most essential skill for professional success? What do you think is the most important skill for professional success? Rosalie, are you there? Come on, give it a try. Introduce yourself first and then try to answer the question, please. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Are you speaking now? I can't hear you. Rosalie, can you try again? Can you guys hear Rosalie? I cannot hear her on my end. Oh, sure, no problem. I'll get back to you, Rosalie. No worries about it. Your mic is acting up. Okay, I'll get back to you. You cannot hear. How about Marie? Hello, Marie. Good evening. What do you think is the most important skill that we need to be successful in the business setting? Marie, are you there?
Hello. Good evening, everyone. Actually, first I would like to introduce myself. My name is Marie from Bukidnon, and I'm a full-time mom, full-time housewife. So, and I would rate my communication skills on 2 out of 5 because I'm
Mhm.
not confident, and if I'm nervous, nagra-rumble yung ano ko. Sorry, yung ano ko.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yung
No
throat.
worries. Uh-huh.
Then about the question, um, what is the important skill that we need to be successful in the business setting? Are we talking here about a virtual world, right?
In general, in
Well,
in a business setting. Yeah. In general,
um,
in a professional setting, business setting.
hmm, I'm sorry. Let me think. I'm not.
Yeah. What do you believe is the most essential skill for professional success?
Maybe number one is communication skills. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Right. You got it right. So, yeah, that's why we need to be ready to communicate like a global professional. Thank you for that, Marie. All
Hmm.
right. So, there is what we call the hidden communication gap. A lot of people think that if you're already perfect in grammar, you have perfect grammar, you have perfect vocabulary range, you're already going to be successful. Do you agree, guys? What do you think? What do you think, Suyen?
Good evening.
Good evening.
Is it okay if you repeat the question? Sorry.
Do you agree that if you have perfect grammar in English, if you have perfect vocabulary range, you're going to be successful?
Um,
Do you agree or disagree?
I agree in a way, but it's not 100% communication. Aside from communication, you should be good in time management and uh, in tech savviness, using the computer and tools and other apps. So it's you have to integrate everything.
Exactly. All right. Good job, Suyen. That's a good answer. Actually, it doesn't only require you to be perfect in English. Not and nobody's perfect actually in English. Even I myself get some, grammar slips. That's normal, right? But the important thing is communication skill, how you relate to other people, how you actually it's how you um work with different cultures, perspective, with different communication style. Being able to express your ideas clearly, listen actively, communicate professionally, that will help build trust, confidence, and strong working relationship with your international clients. Actually, there are two kinds of skills. We have soft skills and transferable skills. All right. So the professional training gap that we have right now is we just think that, oh, I have to be really perfect at English before I can be successful. No, you have to target the ability to have clarity, the ability to, interact with your international clients correctly, the best way you can do it. Now let's have communication self-assessment. So rate yourself 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest metric across these key competencies. Okay. So I need you to chat it down, and then I'll be picking a person to talk about why that one is the highest and why that one is the lowest. Okay. So please click. So maybe you can just put one, or let's say A, B, C, D, E. All right. And then put the corresponding rate. Let's go. So this is for our assessment. So how much we know our skill when it comes to communication, international communication. Okay, so let's make it BC2. All right, let's make it more, hang on. Let's make it more quick. I just want you to rate the highest and the lowest, okay? So just rate the highest and the lowest. So for example, your lowest, whoa, good job, Marie. Very quick. All right, maybe I'll get back to Marie. 2, I'm not yet better. I don't have more vocabulary for Jonathan. Marie, 2 for everything. 2 and 3. No, we cannot hear. No, that's not. Okay, how about the others? So most likely, most of you are under 2. Okay, let me ask Marie. Marie, can you now reintroduce? Not reintroduce because we didn't hear you earlier. Can you introduce yourself briefly and then tell me why this is your assessment for these competencies, please? Juliet, 4. Wow. Okay, that's great. Marie, can you introduce yourself and tell me why they are all 2? 5 being the highest. Highest is D, lowest is A. Okay. All right, let's go, Marie. Marie, where are you? Is your audio okay now? Oh, okay, no problem. Okay, let's have Juliet. I want to ask Juliet. Juliet, introduce yourself before you explain why you think replying professionally to clients, you rated it as 4. Wow.
Hi, good evening,
Good
everyone.
evening.
I'm Juliet Batiansila from Cebu City. My I need to introduce about my background, or
It's up
is
to
it
you how you want to introduce yourself briefly. Go ahead.
okay? I'm compliance officer before at a real estate company, and now I'm currently a licensed financial advisor. So my answer is in A, replying to professionally to clients. So for me in written communication, I can um, sort of um, confident in replying since through written, but in oral, in speaking, for me that's my weakness. Yeah.
So what would be the lowest rate
My
among the metrics?
B and C.
B and C. So more on
Yeah.
the oral skills, I
Yeah.
see. Because replying professionally, you've been doing the
Mm-mm.
written replies to your clients.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Juliet.
Nice
All
to meet
right.
you.
Okay. So it's good. Now, what did we learn from uncovering your weaknesses? Can you put yourself on mute, please, so we will not be having some background noise. Thank you, guys. All right. So, what did you discover in uncovering your weakness? This is the thing, guys. You have to be aware of your weaknesses or your areas for improvement so that you would know what you need to do, what you need. No, being aware of what you need to improve on is not enough, right? What is next after being aware of your weakness, guys? What is the next one? Rosaline, what do you think is the next step after realizing your weaknesses or your areas for improvement? What's the next step?
Hello.
Yes. Hi.
All right. Thank you. Well, for me, the next step would be to improve yourself, like, join some skill up courses.
Mhm. I'm sorry, what was that?
Join some courses. For like example, you realize that your weakness is speaking
Mm-hmm.
with the client confidently.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can join some courses that teaches you how to speak confidently.
Right, great job. That's correct. Yeah, do something about it. It's not enough being aware of what you need to improve on. You cannot just say like, "So I salute you guys because you're doing something about it." Right? I salute Julius, 'di ba? Regardless of what you're doing in life, regardless of what source of income you're doing, you're upskilling because you want to be more successful. That's a very good point. Okay. So don't stop there. Don't stop with knowing what your weaknesses are. Everybody has one, right? What the difference is, they did something about it. So the experts, they started as a beginner. Remember that, guys. So we have to continue striving for it, right? So now, let's go to the next one. Let's do an application. Now, the client challenge. This is about, when you're in a working environment, you don't only need IQ. You don't need to be just smart. You also have to have EQ. What is EQ? Not the diaper, okay? Not the EQ diaper. What do you mean by EQ, guys? Carlo, what is EQ? What do you think
EQ.
is EQ is? Not the diaper, okay? What is EQ?
I thought it's that. I don't know. Maybe I heard that before, but I
Not
don't know what.
familiar, not very familiar. Okay, it's okay. IQ is how smart, right? Your intelligence quotient. EQ is your emotional quotient. Now, another question. Who else did I not ask? Jonathan. All right, Jonathan, why do you think, aside from IQ, of course, that's given. We have to be smart to land a good job, right? But why do you think emotional quotient or emotional intelligence is important as well? Jonathan.
Emotional intelligence is really important because if, if you manage your emotion, you can handle the situation better. Like not to be hungry, just become a relax, and you can you can manage the situation. You can analyze the situation, and
Mm-hmm.
then you are able to solve. But if you analyze and then if you discover the solution because your
Mm-hmm.
emotion is in the relaxations. That's why EQ is really important.
All right. Thank you for that. I agree, Jonathan. You have to be able to, that's why we say you have to be professional all the time. You should know how to handle your emotional issues, right? Something like that. So emotional quotient is your ability to use your emotion wisely, right? In the job that you're doing, right? And the most important that people like remember I told you earlier, the professional training gap that we have, the professional gap, that learning gap that we have right now is the CQ. Anyone who knows CQ? Anyone who knows CQ? Nobody knows CQ. CQ is cultural intelligence or cultural quotient. Now, you guys, you want, whether you're an aspiring VA, whether you're already doing work from home jobs as a VA or whatnot, still, right, you're going to be facing international clients. So you are going to need to have CQ, which is often overlooked but by a lot of professionals. Do you agree? A lot of people, they think it's just the technical skills, it's just the EQ, that's enough. But actually CQ is very important. Now, let's have a practice. For example, your client, who among you, can you raise your hand, who among you is already working for an international client? Carlo, you are, right? Who else? Who else? I cannot see the other hands. Who else are already working for an international client? Only Carlo? Juliet, you're already working for an international client, right?
Sort
Not yet.
of.
Sort of.
Yeah, because I am a host, Airbnb host, and I encounter international clients too.
Like from
So,
where?
here in Cebu,
Mhm.
since I'm a host of our Airbnb, so
Mhm.
most of the time I'm going to reply their concerns, especially their complaint like that. So,
Mhm.
oh yes, so we need to
From where
know
are they? From where are they?
like they're from Japan, also
Japan.
Korean, and then sometimes like American citizen or like
Mhm.
European like that.
I see.
Mm-mm.
All right. Thank you for
So
sharing, Juliet.
different cultures.
Different cultures. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. You're already exposed to different cultures. So CQ is a must for you,
Yeah.
for everyone for this in this case. All right. Thank you, Juliet. Now, for example, so Carlo, you're working for an international client as a designer, you said earlier, for you're an architect, I believe, right? You mentioned before. Now, if your client says, I noticed several issues in the report, how would you feel? How would you feel first?
I noticed several issues in the report.
How would you feel firsthand?
Uh, First is I'm confused about there are some other bad reports with that, and then I need to ask some few things that I need to know about the
Yeah, so how
negative.
would you feel? How would you feel? Positively, negatively? How would you feel?
It's not like it's like a neutral to me. It's not very negativity, or it's like I need to express like normal for that. I need to
Okay, good.
challenge
All
it
right.
to reply to respond after that.
Okay, that's good. You don't take it personally. That's a very good thing to do. Now, how would you reply? If I may ask, how would you reply? How would you
First thing is I need to check first my
Mhm.
thing. For example, that I designing here, I need to check correctly all the details, and then if there's something wrong with that, I need to ask them if there's some few misunderstanding about the
How would you
communication.
say that? How would you say that in one sentence? How would you
Or,
reply? Imagine I'm the client. I noticed several issues in the report. How would you reply?
um, yeah, that's the only thing that I.
How do you say
Yeah,
that in one sentence?
yeah. I guess would be like I will update you later. I need to check any details. That's it.
Okay.
Because I didn't.
I will
Hindi, use-
update you later about the report. Okay. That's a good try, Carlo. Good job. All right. Okay, now let's watch a very short a short clip here about cultural intelligence. Can you see YouTube? Yes?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Watch and listen carefully. I will not put subtitles, okay? This is your practice, listening practice. Okay, get ready for it.
So when we originally drafted this design, the power cord was supposed to go here. It's not there.
Well, apparently the client is telling you one thing and telling the engineer something else.
This conversation isn't going real well.
All right. What do you think happened? So before we hear what David Livermore has to say, what do you think happened in the conversation? How did the employee wearing the blue shirt, how did he react? How did he respond to the client? Anyone?
He did not acknowledge the comment, no, of
Okay.
the other person. So for me, if like that, you would acknowledge it first and maybe compose and understand the situation, or check the details that the first party complained about. Yeah.
All right, that's very good. Acknowledgement is very important, guys. This is being professional. You acknowledge what happened. You cannot just suddenly just straight away talk about what is it about. So you have to acknowledge what the situation is. And then how did he respond to that? How did he respond? Okay, let's listen to that part when he responded.
Apparently the client
It's not there.
Well, apparently the client is telling you one thing and telling the engineer something else.
So how did he sound? What is he trying to say? Anyone? Come on, you can do it.
He is
Yes.
reactive. Like yeah,
Mhm.
like he insisted that the client is like instructed that task. Yeah, so I don't know if there's they were a team, so yeah.
Okay, all right. So he reacted how? Tama si George. Good job, George. Defensively. Juliet, you were able to say what you have to do first. That's good. That's very good. You have to acknowledge the issue, right? And how he responded is very defensive. Why? Because he's trying to pinpoint or blaming whose fault it is, right? He's saying, "Oh, the engineer is saying this the different thing with what someone has to say, like something like that." Okay, so it's like blaming or pinpointing, right? So instead of being defensive, how would you respond? How should we respond to it? Now let's see some examples here. So for example, because usually Filipinos, sometimes we read it differently. Again, it's culturally different. How we react, how we interact, how we communicate with international clients, right? So earlier, Carlos said, we'll get back to you later about the report. It's almost correct, but you just have to acknowledge first. Thank you for highlighting this. Let's schedule a call to resolve these details. You get it? Yeah. So Carlo was right. Only just include acknowledgement. You have to say, thank you for highlighting this, or thank you for calling this out, or thank you for your feedback, acknowledging it. And then don't sound defensive. You cannot say, our team completed the brief matching your initial guidelines exactly. So it's like you're saying, this is what you want, right? It doesn't work that way, because it will deflect ownership. It will harm your alignment. Alignment means you should be on the same page, right? It will damage your long-term client trust. Now, if it's emotional, you will tend to be too apologetic, which we should not be doing. Why? I would like to ask other people here. Arnold, Why do you think we should not be too apologetic? Arnold, are you there? Why do you
Yes.
think? Yes, yeah, thank you. Are you at work? Can you show yourself?
Yes, exactly.
Ah,
I'm
you're at
still at
work.
work.
Okay, no problem. All right. Can you tell me why we should not, why we should not be apologetic? Too apologetic.
Um, of course, because we are just a worker. We're just a worker from our international clients. So therefore we need to we need the clients we need our clients to be impressed always in us. That's what I understand.
Okay, thank you for your opinion. Don't worry, guys. Opinions here are there's no right or wrong opinion here, okay? So thank you for that insight. So feel free to express your opinion about it. Okay, so yeah, there's a tendency not for you not to impress your client, but actually we just need to do it naturally, right? So when we can say apologies, yeah. We don't say sorry most of the time because that's more like informal. We better say apologies. It's more professional, guys, when we say that. You can say apologies. I'm not saying that we should not be sorry if we need to. We say apologies. Let me make it better. You can always say that. Okay. But too much would ruin your executive presence, right? It will damage your professional um, expertise or your image, right? It will affect it. Jules said being overly apologetic can reduce confidence and professionalism. Correct. In business, it is better to communicate clearly and focus on problem solving. Correct. Now, you got the exact point. And for example, you acknowledge it and then you do something about it and then propose a solution. So you just have to be proactive when it comes to problem solving. So you have to when you acknowledge the issue, it happens all the time anywhere, right? Nobody's perfect. Every now and then we get a mistake or so, right? So what we need to do is take ownership of that and then make it better. All right? So how would we respond? Acknowledge the issue, do something about it, make it clear and precise, and then propose a solution. That's what we can do to preserve our professional and executive presence, right? Okay. Now, usually Filipinos read it differently, right? We have very emotional. We value harmony more than clarity or direct communication. Is it right for Filipinos? Is it right? But international clients, they are more likely into clear and direct communication. All right. So, for example, yeah, we have what we call high context and low context. Now, if you're working, it would be most of the time, I don't want to be doing stereotyping because most of Western countries like America, Australia, UK, they prefer direct. You have to be direct. You don't need to go around the bush if there is a problem. The better you can say it directly. All right. So we have what we call explicit and implicit communication. Now, if it's explicit, they are direct. So don't take it personally, like what Carlos said. You should not take it personally. All right. So if they say, I have this. Let's watch another video for you to understand that English communication can also be culturally different. Okay. So how Filipinos react to a situation is different from how
with a delicious strawberry.
people from the Western side react as well. All right. So you would have, oh no, not this
Originally
one. Not this one. Hang on. Where is that? Here. So how British and Americans react or how you would read them by what they say. Right. So let's have, can you see it, guys?
Yes.
exercise at all what we're getting at with CQ to actually make at important.
Okay, wait a minute. Let's start with
British
this one.
person are we talking about? No two British people speak very basic part of the UK. We've seen something like that.
Who among you has encountered a British or a British client? None yet. None yet. Coach Ree, have you encountered a British client yet?
Me before.
Who was that?
Jules.
Juliet. Oh,
Yeah.
Juliet.
I'm dealing with a client for a real estate, and then I did not close the sale because maybe my strategy, because I'm indirect, but he's very direct person, of course. I don't know his background too, and then I realized that my move is wrong.
I
Yeah.
see.
So I did not close the deal that time.
Yeah, that's cultural intelligence when it comes to communication. That's great. But at least you were able to encounter one. All right, now here, when British say, with all due respect, how do Filipinos read that? How do you understand that? Who else I haven't called yet? Who else I haven't called yet? Come on. Julius. Julius, are you there? If a client says, for example, your future client, okay, even you're not yet a VA now. For example, your client in the future would say, with all due respect, how do you understand that? If I may translate it in our language, mawalang galang na po, right? Is it? Is it the correct one? The translation of that? That, with all due respect, mawalang galang na po. Ano, what do you feel, or how would you read that?
I think, with all due respect, I think there's something asking, or I'm sorry for my English.
It's okay. It's okay. No problem.
I'm asking some reason, or
Asking for a reason. Okay. Or it might be questioning something.
yes.
All
Yes.
right. Okay. Thank you for that, Julius. How about the others? You can type it down, okay? I'll check on that one. George, would you like to say your insight about this? George? George, are you Peppa Pig's brother? George? George, are you there? George? You're so serious, guys. Are you okay? Is it so scary, ba, to speak? It's okay, right? For others, it sounds like they don't agree on something. Oh, okay, like what Julia said, like they are questioning something. All right, let's see. Let's find out.
Let's imagine that you're a non-native with respect, not necessarily.
So you would
What is
feel like
actually
you
meant?
respects me, but
I think
actually,
you're wrong. Okay, no, maybe not necessarily, but for
see, guys, it's different, right? So we would feel like, oh, he respects me, but actually it means, I think you're wrong. They are questioning your credibility about it. That's why mawalang galang na po. So you will have no respect because you are going to point out that it's wrong, right? Something like that. You get it? You get it? Yes. All right, next.
for many British, if a British person were to say, perhaps you would consider somebody without
All right, perhaps you would consider. How would you
any
read
cultural
that?
understanding of what that means, what they might hear is, okay,
She wants me to think about this, right? But actually the meaning is this is an order. All right, so this is cultural intelligence that I've been telling you about, okay? All right, any questions about this? We'll tackle more about this if you join my training starting Monday. I think there are still a few slots left if you would like to join us. Yeah, Carlo will be there. I'm not sure the others. I think you are in the class as well, right? In the training. Right. Very interesting actually means I don't agree for British people most. All right. This is according to the general impression of, yeah, this meaning. Very interesting. This is the thing about Australian, you know, they usually use sarcasm, if I may say. Yeah. Yeah. Right. So instead of you think, oh, very interesting, you feel like they're impressed, but actually they don't
They're
agree.
not.
Diba, right? So if you're not culturally aware of this, you would feel like, oh, I feel so stupid thinking about this, but it's not, right? So we have to be aware of this. And I'm sure it was my fault, but actually they mean this was your fault. Right, guys? So that's how
Very
cultural.
confusing.
Yes, right. So that's how. And also right, even in our country, we have a lot of dialects. We have ways, right? We have some people are straightforward, some are not. So similar, cultural. So English communication is actually cultural as well. Right? All right, so we have low context, like I told you earlier, like US, Germany, Netherlands, they focus on explicit verbal clarity. They go straight to the point. If they say, this doesn't work, it doesn't have any other meaning. It just that doesn't work. No other meaning. But for high context or indirect, or we call implicit communication, usually like Japan, Philippines, Middle East, they usually do it indirectly because we value harmony, which is not bad, but sometimes it affects the professional, the professional image of or the professional relationship of people. Especially if you're a VA, you're going to be working not with co-Filipinos. You're going to be working with international clients. So you have to be very open to this. All right? So remember I see a lot of Japanese people, they're very disciplined, but at the same time, they're very into indirect, even it's already at the expense of themselves or at the expense of their comfort. They sacrifice that because they don't want to, they always think about others. So because that's why they are indirect or, yeah. Yeah, British are sarcastic and Australian, in my experience. But Americans are so blunt. This is just according to my experience, okay? This is my opinion, guys. I don't want to be giving you, stereotypes, all right? But this is speaking through experience. Americans are too blunt at times. I like sarcasm instead better than being blunt. All right, now here, follow up. Sorry for bothering you. If it's a Filipino writing, follow up, you tend to say this, right? Instead of saying, I'd like to follow up regarding, go straight to your point. Instead of saying, I made a mistake, I'm sorry. You say, thank you for catching that. Thank you for pointing that. I will adjust the project files now. Very professional, right? And direct. What time works for you? I'm free anytime. You go straight what your available time is. Unless you really have to adjust because of your time zone, you really have to adjust. Maybe you can also just lay down your cards. So at this time, I can't, at this time, yeah, like this. Okay. And then clarity. I hope that makes sense. I look forward to aligning on your thoughts on this matter. All right. So it's a matter of your cultural intelligence and how much you're aware of the culture of the client you're working for. All right. Okay, so we have here, I'll end with this one. Most people study English. Very few people train in communication. There is a massive life-changing difference. Okay, who else I haven't called yet? Rosaline, you cannot speak yet. You can type it down as well. Who wants to go? I will be asking one more participant. Right? So we are now down to our question and answer. Okay. This is a question and answer. You can, if you have questions. And guys, the link is in the comment section. All right. if you would like to join the communications and cultural intelligence training, it will be starting on Monday at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. I hope to see you guys there, okay? And also, guys, watch out because we watch out. Stay tuned because we're going to be having a lot of free webinars. The next one would be, I think, Coach Ree, what was that? The next webinar would be for CapCut, I believe. Yes, yes. You know what to do. You know the drill, guys. You have been with Virtual Hive, right? So just if you have some inquiries about the training, you can visit Facebook and you can ask for details there. Okay? All right. Anyway, this is now open for I'm not I'm not I'm now open for the question and answer, guys. Right? But before we do that, most people study English, very few train in communication. How do you understand that, guys? I asked you that last question before we have the question and answer. Oh yeah, the next one would be CapCut with Coach May on June 13th. Please join us same time, same FB page and YouTube page, guys. Okay? I hope you learned something today. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. All right. So, guys, Juliet, let's go, Juliet.
Okay.
Most people study English, very few train in communication. What do you think about this?
For me, yeah. Since elementary, we study English.
Right.
Yeah, and then we don't practice, no. So yeah. Few people train in communication, and it's not like just communication. It's efficient communication, effective communication. Yeah. So if you're complete, um, so there's a massive life changing if you you can able to communicate well.
Mm-hmm. Right. Because, you know, effective communication is not just, there are a lot of people, they're really good at speaking, but they cannot relate or connect.
Mm.
That's the thing, you know, that's the soft skills that we are talking about. So it's very important that, all right. So anyway, let's go. Yeah, it's very important that we not only focus on the IQ, EQ, but also the CQ for
Yeah.
international clients. Okay. So I am looking forward to meeting my trainees for Monday. We'll have more practice, we'll have more fluency drills and so on. All right. Come on, question and answer. You still have a few minutes remaining. Question and answer. Don't be shy. This time you have the chance to ask questions. Any questions? Is it clear, class? Suddenly it's a class. All right. Any question? If you're not going to be asking me, I'll ask you another question. Guys, what? It's open for question and answer. Oh, what's your takeaway anyway? So if you have no questions yet, what are your takeaways from the short webinar that we had today? Juliet.
Oh.
But you've been very active. Okay, so Juliet first.
Okay. For me, it's an opportunity to learn about like the different like intelligence. So since we learn about EQ and IQ, but now the CQ elaborated, no, and then it widened my understanding, and I realized also my past experience was not effective and that not successful because um I am lacked of cultural intelligence. Yeah, so it's better to know more and understand their culture so that yes, of course, the communication is effective also. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Thank you.
Because you will not be effective if you don't understand other people's way of communicating, right? So good job. Thank you for that, Juliet. How about
Thank you.
Carlo? Thank you. I hope to see you on Monday. Let's go, Carlo.
What is that question again?
What?
I
Okay.
mean,
You're working while having this
yeah, I'm working
multitasking.
on
No
it.
worries, no worries. Take away. What did you learn from the very short webinar that we had today?
Actually, yeah. Actually, there's a lot of confuse how we're gonna respond to my client, and there's a lot of difference between the other countries like British or any other continents. Now that I realize that I'm talking with them with a normal English, like I'm just talking with a it's like a normal person, but I didn't try to talk professionally with them. I'm just talking like a normal English, just like that. But you know, now that I realize that there's a lot of things that we would communicate with them with such professional or fluent to communicate with them. So that's why I'm very interesting to continue this kind of uh, understanding about learning about advanced way to learn about communication skill with English. Even though that we talk in English right now, we're talking like a normal English, but there's a few bits that we didn't know. That's why I wanted to explore. Yeah, eventually I just wanted to expand with that because it's much more advantage with me because right now I'm just working in the client to other countries like US, something like that in Australia, other things, and also Europe because I you know that I have that I have a girlfriend there.
Yes, international girlfriend. Woo! All right.
European girlfriend, and there's a lot of things, and there's a lot
Uh-huh.
of cultural differences with that.
Differences.
How they gonna answer about what you're saying with them because sometimes that that
Mm-hmm.
you said there that there's a lot of mistakes like when we saying like apologies there it's a mistake like it's a wrong answer that we're gonna say with them with that we need to expand to explore it, so that's why I'm very interested to continue with this.
All right. Thank you. I'm gonna see you on Monday, Carlo. Thank you for that. All right. So George typed in his answer for the question. With the last part, I just realized why I'm having a hard time working with cultures with high context. Because my experience when I started working is with direct and low context. Oh, I see. It really creates a misunderstanding and drama, especially with Filipinos. Right. Right. So it's very important to have CQ, guys, right? Okay. I'm happy you were able to I was able to make you realize it more. All right, guys. I'm so happy. I believe I was able to achieve the goal for the night. All right. Thank you so much for participating. But I would want one more. Who wants to give me one more? One more
Can
participant.
I?
What's Yeah, sure, sure. Who's that? Arnold. Let's go,
Okay.
Arnold.
Actually, I realized tonight with this kind of webinar we have, communication skills very important so that you and your client, and if, for example, you're working in the team, you can understand each other's. That is the most important thing for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Arnold. Yes, team collaboration. It's very important. It's very important. Without team collaboration, how will the company, become successful, right? So it's very, very important. It's
Exactly.
crucial. Yeah, it's very important, guys. So Rosalind said it leaves me with more questions. Actually, webinar is very short. Yeah, so I'm gonna see you on Monday. We'll talk more about CQ. We'll talk more
By the
about
way, what
communication.
time on Monday
Yes.
is it?
10 o'clock. I only have
10
one
o'clock
slot, guys.
at
10
night,
a.m. to
right?
12. No, 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 in the morning.
Morning. Okay, that's no worry. Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you.
All right, guys. So if you have more questions about the details of the communication and cultural intelligence questions, feel free to ask us virtual Hive Academy page. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for keeping me company. It's nice to meet all of you.
Thank
And
you. Thanks,
also our
everyone.
viewers from Facebook and YouTube. Kaway-kaway muna, guys. Bye.
Bye. See you then.
Thank you. See
Bye bye.
ya.
God bless
See ya,
everyone.
guys. God bless.